There's a lot of work that needs to be done in the well. A lot of people in need. If it's about the financial or food assistance programs, we are backlogged. Don't worry, we're doing... Oh, you're not. Listen, I've talked about this with him a ton of times, and there's no record of a unity build. Our early records are mostly administrative. Humanitarian projects, group counseling notes, charity expenditures. But there is a series of exchanges the founding members recorded in a lot of detail. It's the closest thing I have to what Aquilus is describing. A man walks into the first house of enlightenment. The founding members just call him the Drifter. So they think he's a charity case at first, but no, the Drifter asks them a bunch of questions. If your philosophy is built on an individual's own morality, what about the second person? That second person might disagree. Isn't the problem of two what you're really looking for? And the founders respond, each individual must understand how the second person lifts them up. All of human effort is a story of cooperation pushing us forward. And it kind of goes on like that. He comes back every week for a year. Same conversation every time. Second person this, the problem of two that. Honestly, I think the founding members made it all up. There was a little more hesitation being openly atheist in the early days. I think they were experimenting with writing their own scripture. Fortunately, that got abandoned pretty quick. After the records of the Drifter end, you never see anything like it again. Always happy to help. If you'll excuse me, I've got a lot of aid efforts to coordinate.
Maybe we should stop for a moment at the memorial. You know, to pay our respects.
Oh, you're back. What did you learn? Was there something hidden in their stories, like we thought? Planets are often named by number. That second might mean the second planet in the system. What else did you learn? Yes, what he added to infinity. Maybe that points to a name. If we're looking for his... Was there anything else? If there really is a location the Pilgrim wanted us to find, those do sound awfully like coordinates. Let's see. We have something that could be coordinates. Infinitum addendum. What if we break down the parts? No system. Yes, that's it. The second planet in Indum at 4 and 120. That's where... And from there, maybe you'll find the true... Before you go, you've now spoken to many different perspectives in our universe. In a way, I know you're looking for a specific unity, but if you had to guess what it was... And once you know, what will you do? Even the most objective scientist, you will be taking a similar part of yourself with. So you intend to find the truth and then have that truth confirmed by your peers. Unity is a Well, I won't keep you any longer. This has been...
position.
up the
Greetings,
engines.
pilot. This is Jiro Sugiyama, head of Paradiso Security. I apologize for coming over this emergency channel, but we are in need of assistance concerning the large ship in orbit, and we value discretion in this matter. If you are willing and able, please see me as soon as possible at the main security office in Paradiso. Over and out.
Never get tired of that.
Hailing unknown vessel. Colonists here in distress.
Smooth job. Nice work.
Hello, Captain. We pose no threat here. Quite the opposite. Our ship's full of the faithful, Sanctum Universum. Happy to talk if you're inclined. I'm making another run out of New Atlantis, taking universals out in the stars. To get closer to God and to appreciate... Space travel is dangerous, but fortunately most ships don't engage us. Whether it's respect for our religious beliefs or the fact that we carry only passengers, I don't know. Have you ever felt something spiritual? Well, I've jumped dozens of times, and I still don't know I've had the revelation, but I'll keep jumping. I completely agree. It was a pleasure talking with you. We have to be going. But I hope God watches over you out there.
Good to go for landing. Oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen. It's all here. What an incredibly beautiful sculpture. I suspect it was placed here for some sort of specific purpose rather than as an artistic statement. also have time for a nap before we leave.
Perhaps, and their ship, the Helix. I believe they ambushed you above Neo.
Thank you for the stellar introduction. Your success is unprecedented. Before you came, we were just discussing how continued use of force against you is unwise. Yes. We did. We are not a monolithic people. The Starborn are individuals. Some are united in cause. Others are in it for themselves.
We are all in it for ourselves. Some of us are just more honest. The emissary threatened your ship. Demanded you hand over your artifact. How is that so different from what I did?
We needed to warn you off. Every encounter with one of our kind could spell disaster.
For whom, exactly? I say whoever can collect them should. And who gets to say that? You? Me? The emissary? I have debated morality for near infinity, and all I have found are groups of people enforcing their will on others. Rules and laws spoken as principles, but backed by arms and violence.
Enough. We have more to discuss. The Unity. You are on the path to it. It is a place, a gateway. It is where we were reborn.
So, I gotta say, this part is more awkward than I thought. Hiding my face was way easier. I'm universe is only the first one you've been to. I've seen hundreds. Where I came from, I was the one who stayed at the launch to protect the artifacts. You died on board the Eye while we held off the Hunter.
One of me, at least.
I collected the remaining artifacts, and they opened the way to the center of my universe, and the doorway to an infinite number of others. That is the Unity. When I stepped into it, I became a Starborn. It's how I've entered other worlds, including yours. I have to. This is bigger than all of us. All the artifacts are needed to complete the armillary and open the way to the Unity. In every universe, the Starborn fight over them. Innocent people die. You've witnessed the power granted by the temples, the anarchy that can be unleashed. Someone has to decide who should get them.
Here it comes. The emissary tells you only the worthy should enter heaven.
You're twisting what I mean.
They're hypocrites. They used the chaos caused by the hunt for the artifact. I attacked your launch because I wanted the artifact, and you held me off. You got away. That wasn't some morality play. You didn't survive because of righteousness. You won because of persistence, luck, and skill. As I have done countless times.
I was also human once. But what does it matter who or what I was when eternity is within your grasp? You're learning. My other self wants you to walk the path he walks, to give up, to appreciate the universe you have. Easy for a person who's seen everything, done everything.
You've never come this far. Not in all the universes I've seen. The path to the Unity is opening to you.
You're going to tip the scales one way or another. Better your hand be on one of our sides.
You're already in it. With artifacts comes Starborn searching for them. I want a truce. Between all three of us. I will give you some time to think over which approach.
Yes. Let's see how willing you are to live under someone else's rules. Just remember.
I'm sure you have more questions. I'll tell you everything I can. It is not an easy experience to describe, but the Unity will speak to you, offer you the chance to become Starborn. You will be leaving this universe behind to be reborn. Everything you were before will be gone. Maybe that's why it offers the choice. Compassion? Or is it testing us? Different. I never know who you are when I meet a new version. But so much of you, it's hard, but each universe is precious in its own way. Mine will never have. You've seen the terror the Hunter causes. Every time a Starborn goes through the Unity, they get more artifacts, find more temples, gain more power. We can't let more like him abuse these gifts to destroy whatever's in their way. all the artifacts are assembled, the device they create is called the armament. Through it, you can reach the unity. And
the unity, you might think the emissary is on your side, but your persistence is what forced them to tell you the truth. Remember that. Whoever created the artifacts and built those temples is playing a game with us. One whose prize is access to the center of all creation. There are no rules. Whoever gets all the pieces wins. And I've won. Over and over. I don't kill for the unity. I find the easiest pathway to it. I've simply found that it's the quickest way. Talking, forming alliances, waiting for the right moment to commit theft. It's all so tiresome. I'll admit, you getting away has been the most interesting thing to happen. As soon as I realized what had happened, I knew I needed to wait until... to see what would happen, of course. You might not understand just how many times I've done this. Usually, you're the one who ends up dead, and whoever cries over your body goes on to become the emissary. Sometimes I manage to get you all bunched up and take care of the problem in one go. Sometimes the emissary has gotten to me first, and I never arrive. Hundreds and hundreds of variations of me, hacking through Constellation. And it's almost never you. I took it as a sign. They enter the Unity, take artifacts from others, employ force. All the things I do. I am many things, but I would never tell anyone what to do with their gifts. That is you. The emissary wants to become the judge of who gets to enter, but the Unity itself doesn't judge. No, we always end up having this meeting at this time. But it's the usual affair. Honestly, I was beginning to wonder why I kept attending. And it's bad habit I started a long time ago. Perhaps I just like meeting the emissary to gloat. But you have provided something quite new to talk about. Maybe you're a random die roll.
Before you leave, I want to give you something. A way to another artifact, but also a lesson in how dangerous they can be. Seek the moon of old Earth. There are secrets there you must discover for yourself. Here, to open the way. Yes. That is all I ask. I hope you see. You should also talk to your colleagues in Constellation. I am sure they have gathered more information on the remaining artifact. Part of me wonders what they will all say about what you have learned. But I will leave that to you.
I wanted to thank you for giving me the chance to work with you. I know you seem to be acclimating well to Constellation. I think none of us were expecting. You have certainly become a vital part of the organization. If I may, from what you have seen, do you think I fit in well with the rest of I cannot tell if that is a compliment or an attempt to avoid. I have a very different background from the rest of Constellation. I have not shared much, but everyone knows I worked with smugglers. Why should I be? It was necessary for survival. I would not. For those that have not lived it, it can be difficult to imagine. Vladimir is the only one here who can begin to understand. He was the one who... I lack his charm. He puts others... That is kind of you. I find expressing... I know this seems trivial. Perhaps childish. By a group, And yet here we are, working together. And discussing these things is challenging for me. I wanted to thank you for not saying anything to Vladimir. I know that you said you wouldn't, but it is still a relief. I would like Mike... It would have been, to some. Thank you for talking this over with me. If you are free soon, could we talk? In the end, you chose the UC over the Crimson Fleet. Do you believe that was the right choice? I can respect that. I am no supporter of the United Colonies, but I also could not bring myself to side with the fleet. Did getting that close to Delgado and the fleet make it difficult at all? It can be... Well then, no ambiguity. It would be foolish to think, though, that we have seen the last of the Crimson Fleet. We may have eliminated the leadership. I would say you have done more than enough. For now, you should enjoy your hard-earned victory.
Thanks for giving me a moment of your time. I promise this won't. I thought you deserved to know how proud I am that you chose to side with the United Colonies and put an end. You've almost single-handedly saved the settled systems from one of its most well, I'm not sure I deserve that, but I appreciate it all the same. What I want to know is what motivated you into making the right decision. You had Crix's legacy in hand, and you could have easily taken it to the key. Instead, you flew it. Oh, well, I'm flattered that I have such a profound impact on your life choices, and you seem to know me quite well. So, no regrets betraying Delgado, then? I imagine you and... No, I'm sorry. I refuse to excuse Delgado for his loathsome behavior by... We all have our crosses to bear, but it's how we choose to handle them. I have to be honest with you. It disturbs me that you would leap... Live long enough among the wolves and you begin to act like them. Yeah. I suppose my final concern is how long this new... I wish I could share your optimism. My largest concern are the reports that Neva... My hope is that she was smart and went into permanent exile. Well, it appears I've soured the mood of our lovely... I trust my mindless prattle hasn't been too much of a bother. Thanks for taking the time to listen.
spin-up time almost complete. Total time 5 minutes 22 seconds. Right on schedule.
How are the helium-3 valves holding, Nova?
We double-checked the leakage concerns this morning before the launch. All signs green.
Any changes to the calculation sequence from Voltaire?
No changes since we uploaded the last figures yesterday. It's a clean shot from here to Jupiter.
One day the computer will be on board the spaceship. Just imagine that.
One miracle of science at a time, Canaveral. Counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Canaveral, are you reading?
All clear, Nova. Indicators look good. The ship should be cruising Jupiter's orbit right now. Visual confirmation will be possible in 32 minutes.
It's amazing to think that we're standing on the same planetary body where humankind first
How does it feel to break the laws of physics, Canaveral?
We're all pretty excited down here in NASA, I won't lie.
Excited enough to tell me where you got the original data?
Not in a million years, Nova.
Beginning landing site.
Unless I'm mistaken, that's one of the launch towers used during the evacuation of the Earth. I can't even imagine the chaos. The most likely way into the NASA facility would be via an elevator shaft taking us straight down. Hopefully the system is still in operation. I hope the occupants of this colony ship found alternate transportation to evacuate the Earth before it was too late.
our instrumentation is rated for long-term exposure to this level of cold. It's clear the gantry was in loading position. I wonder what prevented this particular colony ship from lifting off. Looks like it was some type of crew preparation area. Probably the last step before boarding. It's definitely seen better days.
Station log. Dr. Judith Tatien. The recent delivery from Mars is unsettling. I was expecting rock samples or maybe fossils of microbial life. Instead, Dr. Victor Isa comes with 2 members of the military. Everything they've brought back is under wraps. What could a theoretical physicist need with a station log? Dr. Judith Tatien. I've been trying to cozy up to Dr. Isa, Victor, to see what is going on. His team has completely commandeered one of the labs with those 2 military handlers, checking who comes in and out. I joked that maybe he found a little gray man and was doing an autopsy, and he grew very pale. 2 days later, he sends me a request, a station log. Dr. Judith Tatien. I have never been so nervous since I defended my dissertation. 4 hours talking to Victor and his team about theoretical metals, atomic bonding, even a half-hour divergence into magnetism that I'm pretty sure was to throw me off the trail of what we were actually talking about. Then, I got to see the lab. I don't know how much I should say, but the periodic table just got thrown out the window. The artifacts here are from the earliest years of NASA. Oh, what a shame all of this was left behind to deteriorate.
with the math? I think it's quite straightforward.
That's not what I'm asking. We've had no success extracting even a sample of material from the object. No explanation for the gravitational effects, no motion graph to explain its harmonic frequencies. I can't even establish a melting point.
Judith.
But you've had me building these prototype colliders for months. And now you want me to pump helium-3 into it based on this equation you've written on a goddamn napkin?
I just need you to trust me.
I have been trusting you. We keep slamming our heads against a brick wall, getting nothing. And you keep coming up with something new to try. Like, you know what's going to happen. Where are you getting your information, Victor?
I'm sorry, Judith. Look, not here, okay? Somewhere off base. I'll tell you everything. But I'm not lying, okay? We're going to discover something important here. I promise.
They were clearly testing space habitat viability in this area. It seems as if they knew the inevitable was on the horizon. Not much left of this geology laboratory. Ironically, the surrounding rock appears to have sealed the fate of this part of the facility. this. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to find out. Facility. The logistics it must have taken to build it this deep underground. It's astonishing.
Project log. Dr. Victor Isa. We turned on the prototype today. The gravitational field around it began to fold as we long suspected. Complete reversal of gravitational pull was observed on dozens of loose objects around the lab. I'm setting up a meeting with the directors to propose a larger test. The prototype proves we don't need the original anymore, but further work is going to have to take place in space. Somewhere with abundant helium-3 and with a civilian partner. Someone with access to large-scale manufacturing resources and computational equipment. Engineering gravitational folds pulling the far...
Project log. Dr. Judith Tatian. I watched the gravjet tests from the moon today. It was the first time we were able to talk to the team at Nova Galactic directly. So many things were under wraps before, but now everyone wants all the publicity they can get. I'm already seeing proposals for manufacturing androids of drives. expeditions to Alpha Centauri and beyond. It's also overwhelming and worrying. It could take years, decades, before we know what all these side effects of operating a grav drive can be. But no one wants to hear that right now. Like a bunch of pioneers racing towards the edges of the frontier without knowing about the grizzly bears in the mountains.
If there's a way to access the deeper sections of this story area, I'm certain we'll find it.
I never actually got to visit your labs back when we were working on the grav drive projects.
Seems like ancient history now. Only thing we're doing these days is launching weather satellites.
Guess this is as good a retirement as any. Now, Project Demeter, you want our help manufacturing scanners to better track these new meteorological patterns we're seeing.
Our guess is that the poles might be naturally shifting, causing some gravitational fluctuations that are throwing off our old models.
Why do you need the scanning tolerances to be so small? What are you trying to find?
I just want to be sure. It's not like we're doing much these days anyway. The glory days are over. Why not give ourselves a challenge before they write us off in the history books?
What I'm seeing, Victor. The data coming back from these satellites is very clear. It's the grav drives.
All those jumps from the moon. At this rate, Earth's atmosphere is going to start sputtering out into space.
Can the drives be fixed?
I'm working on some designs that should discreetly solve the problem, under the guise of an emergency update to the fueling pumps.
We're talking about the end of Earth, and you're trying to be subtle about it.
Judith, the last thing we need is people losing faith in grav drive technology. That might be our only option.
To what? Are you seriously saying we should abandon Earth?
The timeline is under 50 years. A blink of an eye for a planet, but more than enough time for a human exodus.
And what do we tell people?
We say it's an act of God, one that science has found a solution for. Time for humanity to take its place in the stars.
You knew, didn't you? You lied to me. All this time, I dedicated my life to this discovery, Victor. And you knew we were going to kill off our planet?
You haven't seen the future I've seen. There's an infinite expanse of promise out there. A meteor could hit Earth, a plague, another world war. Colonizing other galaxies secures humanity's future for all coming generations, across all time.
At the expense of our home.
Stop it, both of you. All that matters is building enough ships to get everyone off this planet. And we need to start now.
My name is Dr. Victor Isa. And if you're listening to this, then you probably already know the truth. I was young when I first headed the retrieval team of an odd gravitational anomaly on Mars. But I kept what really happened that day hidden from everyone except one other person. Even she didn't believe me at first. But I have no reason to lie to anyone now, so I hope you'll accept this confession, whoever you are. When I touched the anomaly, I experienced 12 days of lost time. I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because of what we had done. But he also told me about a city thriving on a planet orbiting a distant star. Human culture, art, music, lifestyles evolving and shining brightly across all of space. What price would I be willing to pay for that future? Maybe you don't believe me. Maybe Judith was right and I'm just a coward who wants to believe his mistakes were justified. But everyone has forgotten about the real origins of the grav drive, this artifact from Mars. I hope you make better use of it than I did.
understand now why I asked you to come here. The artifacts unlocked the secret of interstellar travel. At the cost of Earth.
An easy trade, honestly. Why have one world when you can have all the settled systems?
Every grav drive in the settled systems was built on technology that came from an artifact that was discovered on Mars. But these early drives shook the gravity field surrounding Earth. Eventually, the atmosphere started to slowly sputter away into space. That is why Earth is uninhabitable. The artifact gave the scientists a greater understanding of time and space, but not the wisdom to see where that would lead.
The settled systems wouldn't exist without the artifacts, in other words. We owe what happened here in NASA a great debt. Assuming we weren't going to lose it anyway. War, disease, famine, all the classics.
Don't you see? The power of the artifact forced humanity to the stars. They didn't get to make a choice. How many would have chosen Earth? What gave Victor Isa the right to choose for them?
You see the hypocrisy in what the emissary is saying, right? They don't want to rob people of their free will, but then they steal the artifacts for themselves.
In the wrong hands, the power of the artifacts can make anyone a tyrant. That is why we watch over them. The only thing you're watching out for is yourself.
Don't be a fool. The emissary and I may have our differences, but you do not want to give us a common enemy.
For once, he is right. Don't do this. We can collect the final pieces together. Thank you.
Well, can't say I didn't try. We'll settle this at the usual place.
The buried temple. We'll be there.
You're lucky I'm a man of my word. I'll see you there.
Stay for a moment. You must have questions about what happens next. We will not be able to go to the buried temple right away. There are still other artifacts out there in the settled systems that haven't been gathered. You will need to work with your colleagues in Constellation to find them. There's always a final artifact in a specific temple. The Hunter and I agreed that whoever you expect anything and everything, other Starborn, human mercenaries and defenses. He and I have made a number of agreements over the years, if you can even call them. We let him go. In exchange, he'll wait at the buried temple. I will meet you in orbit above the buried temple. All of the other artifacts need to be gathered before the final one. I will be bringing mine. The Hunter will be bringing his. And you will need to